Welcome back to 7 Reasons Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Coach Terrance Cunningham, the head coach at Hardin University High School. Coach Cunningham has been making a huge impact on and off the field, shaping young men not only to be great players, but also great men. Today we'll dive into his journey, challenges, and triumphs of leading a high school football program and see what's next for Hardin University High School. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned and let's get into it. Where did you grow up and how was sports a vital role in your life?
So I grew up here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Was born and raised. I went to Lebanon Road Elementary School off of close to Albemarle Road. Grew up in a neighborhood called Morris Farms. It was right across from Lebanon Road and Independence. Went to Northeast Middle School up until about 6th grade. And then my father was a high school football coach, so I went to South Carolina in the 7th grade, played middle school down there, 7th and 8th grade, and I went and played high school football for him down in South Carolina at Central High School down in Payson, South Carolina. So a couple guys, it's crazy, a couple guys I grew up with, Chris Leak, Muhammad Massaquoi, Hakeem Nicks. We all kind of grew up in the same era playing the CYFL here in Charlotte. And those guys are on those state championship teams. I kind of grew up with all those guys.
So you served in the military?
Yeah. So I did served in the military for 8 years. I did 4 years active and then 4 years inactive from 2011 to 2019.
So how does your experience in the military shape your personality and your professional values?
So I learned a lot of core values in the military, just discipline and things like that. A lot of stuff that I kind of carry on with my daily processes of just getting up, working hard every day. Not necessarily being somebody who kind of runs away from things when they get hard, because we're not typically in the military, man. You're not really afforded the opportunity to kind of run away when things get tough. So I kind of use my military values and things like that, to my everyday life.
Okay. So what inspired you to become a coach, and how did you get started?
So my dad is he's been coaching probably for about 40 plus years. He retired from South Carolina and came up here in North Carolina. He coached at a couple schools. Coached North Mac. Well, he retired from South Carolina. He was at Central Paisley for about 30 plus years, and then he came up here and coached a couple years at North Mac and Waddell when they were open. They had a football team. He coached with me at West Charlotte. Now he's helping me out now, but he kind of inspired me to get into coaching when I came home from the military in 2014.
Okay. So how would you describe your coaching philosophy?
I kind of grew up and lived by a philosophy of making plays and not a lot of excuses. That was kind of our mantra. Playing at Central High School was make plays, not excuses. So I kind of live by that. I try not to make a lot of excuses, and everything's about just hard work and being physical and being disciplined and just working hard and having a lot of grit and determination to kind of work yourself into the process of having some type of success.
So how do you use your military background in coaching?
Just my approach. My biggest thing is just having discipline and one of the things I learned in the military is just some of the values you create for yourself and the way you kind of handle your everyday life and everyday process, and how that can help you later on in life, not only with just football but just being a productive citizen and a husband, father. Just a lot of those military values I kind of translate them into coaching football, and I talk to a lot of the kids a lot about just having discipline and just doing things the right way and holding yourself to a certain standard, because when you're in the military, you're held to a certain standard, and that's typically where you got to keep everything at.
We're taking this team over in the middle of the season last year and trying to rebuild the culture here at Hardin. What are your keys to rebuilding the culture?
Just getting the kids to buy into what hard work looks like. I talk to the kids a lot about just hard work and the opportunities and things that can happen just from changing the mentality. Just working hard and having a great work ethic and creating a lot of value for yourself, not only on the field but off the field as well. If you put in the work, it's like I've talked to the boys a lot about the off-season work that they put in, and if you're looking for success, a lot of guys they want offers and things like that to go play at the next level, but it takes a lot of work. Like, none of that stuff is easy. So just getting them to understand the process of working towards success and what it takes. So I think that's just part of what I'm trying to instill in the kids and get them to understand about changing the culture here at Hardin.
Yeah. So how do you handle challenges and adversities in coaching?
I kind of take it all head on, man, because I've been to a couple different schools, and I've dealt with adversity at different places. I've dealt with my own adversity in life and things like that. So I kind of, I've kind of put myself in the position mentally to be able to get through a lot of adversity when things get hard for me, and I kind of want to, push all that information and just experiences that I've had in my personal life to try to help the guys, learn how to get through adversity when things get tough.
So what leadership qualities do you try to instill into your student athletes?
Just having a high character and doing things the right way. Even when nobody's around, talk to the kids a lot about intrinsic motivation, which is self-motivation. Not having someone to always have to tell you what to do and how to do it. If you want things for yourself, you got to kind of be able to motivate yourself on what you want to do, and nobody should have an effect on how you carry out your everyday activities, because you're thinking about your own individual success and what do you want to do and what you want to get out of it. Yes.
What is the most rewarding moment in your coaching journey so far?
I mean, I want to say, seeing kids. Well, one of the biggest ones has been, seeing kid I coached at West Charlotte, Devontae Walker, seeing him get drafted and play for the Baltimore Ravens. I got a couple other kids. It's my biggest thing is, I feel like, even without winning games or winning championships and things like that, at the end of the day, if the kids are getting opportunities to go play at the next level, I think that's what coaching high school football is all about, is getting the kids in a position where they can go play at the next level and kind of work towards their dreams. Winning is it's a lot and it's everything, but at the end of the day, I think as a head coach, your ultimate goal should be to make sure your kids get an opportunity to play at the next level, and you turn them into good men, just for them later on in life, past when football is all done.
So, how important would you say is sports in high school?
I think sports plays a vital role in the school culture. And I know I might, ruffle some feathers, but it's kind of what I've always been taught. Just my mindset. I feel like football, the football program is the heartbeat of the school. When you have a great football program, I think that kind of changes a lot of things in the school. To me, honestly, it kind of might change, the way kids think about academics, because you'll have more kids maybe wanting to be participants, and they'll, do the work that's required. More kids will come to the school because, they like being at the school. The school atmosphere is a little bit different. More people will be at the game, so the game atmosphere is different. I think that, when the football team is good, or whatever major sport that's doing well, I think that kind of changed the whole culture and the experience of the school. So that's kind of something that I've kind of lived by. I know a lot of people might think, like I said, a lot of teachers might think otherwise and think, academics is what it is, but I really think it's, sports and, mainly your football team. You have a great football team, I think that kind of changes the the whole experience of high school.
So how do you get the kids to understand that it's not just what you do on the field, but it's also what you do in the classroom? How do you get them to balance that out?
First of all, they got to understand, that there's a requirement for you to be eligible to play. If you don't handle your business, in the school building and making sure you're eligible, having a great relationship with your teachers, creating a lot of value for yourself. When football is all done, it's kind of hard for them to make sure that they put themselves in a position where they can create a lot of opportunities for themselves in terms of academics and everything like that.
What are your long-term goals for this program that you're building?
So my long-term goal is to change I just want to change the mentality of a lot of the kids here, getting them to understand what hard work is and where it can take them, and just having a great personality, being a good person, being able to network and talk to people, and the opportunities and the value that you can create for yourself by having that type of attitude and personality, and just getting the kids to understand that there's a life past high school, and when football is done, or if you graduate and you don't get that opportunity to maybe go play at the next level, that you've done enough in school to kind of you created enough good habits to give yourself an opportunity to play, not only play at the next level, but have a productive life when you graduate.
So when you look back over the season, what would qualify as a successful season?
To me, with everything that the boys went through last year, losing a couple coaches, and then losing, their head coach midway through the season, I think, to me, a lot of people might not see it or understand that, but I think, a success is making sure that all the boys stayed, and they didn't quit, and they finished the season out, because I think a lot of the boys, they had an opportunity when everything was going on for them to kind of, just kind of give up on the season and not want to finish. But I think just, the boys staying the course and staying positive. They showed up to practice every day. They showed up to workouts and things like that, and they're still kind of locked into the off season and everything like that. To me, that's kind of a success, because I feel like, things could have fell apart if things weren't, handled the right way. So I felt like it was something that I had to take head on, just not only to help the school, but I wanted to make sure those boys had somebody that they knew and had a great relationship with, because my biggest thing was just make sure I hold everything together last year for the future.
So what was your biggest struggle coming in mid-season after the coaching change? And what was a struggle that you had?
So, my biggest struggle was just, kind of changing the boys' mentality. And I think it took maybe 2 weeks to kind of change their mentality about, just showing up to practice and, being positive, trying to find a positive out of, however things were going. Even though we were losing games, just wanted them to kind of, understand that we can find some positives out of week to week, some things that we're trying to develop and get better at week to week, and not necessarily worry too much about the scoreboard, but just focus on developing better playing habits week to week.
Okay. Last question, kind of a fun question. If you could coach any other sport, what would it be?
If I could coach any other sport, I'd say soccer.
Why soccer?
So it's funny, because when I was growing up, I never played soccer, and I got into soccer when I was in the military, and I lived in Germany for 3 years. I kind of got into the European style of where soccer and everything kind of originated at and stuff like that, and just learning the game, and learning how the footwork and the coordination and all that stuff kind of translates to other sports. It's also something I learned. I took up a master's degree in recreation and sports science, and it was geared towards like coaching pedagogy, and my professors were big soccer guys, so the class was kind of geared to understanding how much soccer relates to other sports, just like the footwork, and like I said, the footwork and the conditioning, the coordination, all that stuff. So I think if I was to ever pick up a sport to coach and kind of have fun with it, it would definitely be soccer.
All right. Well, thank you, Coach, for your time, and it's been a pleasure, and thank you for joining 71 Reasons. And we just want to say thank you for all the work that you're doing, and continue the hard work mentoring these kids, and hopefully you'll have a successful season next year.
Thank you. I appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right.